Hello, Wolfpack family. I am Reshunda Mahone, the Associate Vice Chancellor for Alumni Engagement and Annual Giving at NC State. There are interesting people to meet no matter where you turn at NC State. I'm hopping on the Wolfline just to see who I might run into. Let's go. Oh my gosh, Courtney, it's so good to see you. How are you doing?
Too. I'm great.
That's good. So tell me, I know I've seen you around, but what do you do for NC State?
What don't I do for NC State?
Oh, do you wear many hats like I do?
Many hats. I
okay,
do.
Let's hear them.
Yeah, so I got here and I started as a primary care staff physician in campus health, and I applied for a new role and became the associate medical director. And then our prior director and medical director retired in December of 2022. So along with those roles that I just mentioned, I am also the interim medical director of campus health.
Wow, so here on campus at our health center for students and faculty and staff.
Yes, so our health center is primarily for students.
Okay.
But part of the reason that we are called campus health and not just student health is that COVID-19 taught us that we can't just take care of the students. We have to take care of everyone on campus.
Yes, and that is a critical role, especially now, because among all of the things that COVID-19 taught us, I think mental health and wellness is just as important on how we navigate and live successful and happy lives. So tell me a little bit about your day-to-day work. Is it just constantly seeing students, or just answering questions, or really diagnosing?
Yeah, it's all of the above.
Okay.
So day-to-day can be different. It can always look different. There are some days where I'm mostly seeing patients, taking care of patients, helping to diagnose medical issues. Sometimes I'm having meetings. It can be related to upper administrative needs. We can be doing outreach events with other campus partners. So we've really tried to integrate ourselves into the whole system of NC State so that we can help to provide individual health to students, but also ensure the health of the campus.
I often wonder about just the experiences and some of the cases you've seen. Is there one that sticks out as like the craziest? Like, what were you thinking, and how did it land in your space to be the doctor to kind of help this person?
Bike, scooter, and skateboard accidents. We get a lot of those daily in campus health. And I don't think I expected that when I came to campus, but yes, we get a lot of those. So pedestrian safety and safety on scooters and bikes is super important. And that is very unique to campus health. I really did not see that many of those before I came to NC State. They are vast and numerous, but we do our very best to take care of the things that we can. And occasionally we will have to send some students to the ER if it's a really, really bad injury. But we are lucky that we have healthcare providers that are able to do x-rays and provide stitches and those types of things on site. So a lot of times we are able to take care of those students right then and there.
Yeah, I was going to ask about our campus facilities and just the type of work that students have access to here at NC State, as well as the entire campus community. So you said stitches, x-rays, all of those things. We have those facilities on campus. Is there other procedures or things that people would be surprised to know that we can do right here on campus?
I would actually say that those things are probably the things they're not surprised of. I think most people think of us like an urgent care, where they would be able to do an x-ray or have stitches. But we are a fully functional healthcare facility. So we have a very large primary care team. So that's primary care in everything that you would get in a primary care office elsewhere. We have gynecology services. We have a fully functional pharmacy, which our students, faculty, and staff can use. That includes an over-the-counter section, so it's nice. You can drop in and pick up some Zyrtec on the way home or something of the like. We also have I mentioned x-ray, a laboratory, nutrition services, health outreach. What am I missing? Physical therapy. We have physical therapy and dentistry services. So a little bit of everything. We try to make it as much of a one-stop shop for our students as we can. We recognize that particularly in Raleigh, in this hustling and bustling city, that sometimes it can be hard for our students to seek out care elsewhere. It can be hard to get there. they have to worry about things like cost and their schedules. And so we try to make sure that we have as much as possible available to them on campus as we can.
So you've been here now about a couple of years. What about NC State makes this a special place to you?
I think that there's a heart and soul of this place that I haven't really quite been able to define, but you can feel when you're here. I am someone who comes from a college experience that has very passionate alum, the same way that NC State does. And I know what that experience is like to love a place even when you're not there anymore. And it feels very welcoming for me as someone who did not do their undergraduate or graduate studies at NC State to come and still feel like I am a part of that NC State community and family.
So Courtney, you share with us a lot of information about the services provided. What are your goals, or what are the goals for campus health?
In order for us to make sure that we are providing high quality and up-to-date healthcare for our students, we can't stop learning. Healthcare is ever changing, ever growing. There's always new research, always stay up to date on our continuing education, both for maintenance of our licensure, but also to make sure that we're continuing to give great care for our students. So that's probably at the top of my list. The second thing would be making sure that we can have more services available for faculty and staff. I think in calling ourselves campus health, there are some things that we do for faculty and staff, but many of our things are funded through student fees. And as a result, those services all go back to students. And that's great. That's what it should be. And also, we want to make sure that we have things available for our faculty and staff. So continuing to be creative with what that looks like and how we can maximize on our availability to our faculty and staff in a way that still maintains respect for the student fees that we use to fund our student services.
You know, Courtney, I'm curious. College life is certainly fun. There's studying, there's, building lifelong friends. And core to that is just who we are and how we maintain wellness. And so mental health and mental wellness has certainly been something that we've talked about a lot on campus. So how does campus health support our students and staff and faculty, for that matter, with mental wellness?
Absolutely. So first of all, we are a huge collaborator with our counseling center and prevention services. Many know, but many don't, that we are all located in the same building. So it is easy for us to find each other when it is time to share ideas and share advice with each other to care for our campus community and its mental health. Campus health specifically, primary care actually does quite a bit of mental health care ourselves. In the scope of primary care includes treating things like depression and anxiety. So I think often people forget that along with the counseling center and our beautiful psychiatry department, we also are treating mental health things in primary care as well. And so it is very important that we stay connected as multiple departments all working together to care for the health and well-being of our students. I think that it's also our job to advocate for the larger campus. I think there are so many great things that are happening to further increase the community and belonging on campus, because one thing we know is that community and belonging is the key to improving mental health. So of course, we are always going to do the best we can to treat mental health concerns when they are brought to us, but we will also work alongside the campus to continue to create that community and belonging and hopefully prevent people from even needing to come and see us.
Well, I applaud you guys for the work. I know it's certainly been visible across campus as a staff member, really hearing and learning about the resources and not only the information available, but just how your office coordinates with all of the other offices to make sure that we're highlighting these resources for the students as well as our faculty and staff.
I think without a focus on mental health, there would be no way for us to truly be well. And so as much as my job focuses a lot on physical health, mental health is directly tied to that. And I think if we can get all of those things right, we'll be doing great.
what would you say would be some of the key things that we can do to truly live a healthy life and be mindful of our health and wellness?
Absolutely. So many of these we've all heard before. One is sleep. That's not where a lot of people start. I think most of us don't get enough of it. But if you're not sleeping well, the likelihood is that everything else is going haywire too.
Oh, wow.
A lot of times diet, stomach issues, stress, so many of those things can be driven by sleep. I think that stress management, I cannot say that enough. Staying in tune with the things that you like that have nothing to do with what you're studying. Because all of us have things that we like that have nothing to do with what we're studying.
So sleep and stress management.
Mm-hmm.
This has been really interesting. I've learned a lot about food and just health in general. And I'm curious, for those who are listening, how do they learn more about what you're doing, what the other doctors and practitioners are doing for our students at the health center?
So there's a few different ways. You can follow us on our Instagram page, which is pretty active. It is at NCSU Healthy Pack, all one word. You also can come to our website. We try to keep that up to date as well. That is, you can Google Campus Health NC State and it'll pop up. And that's a great place to kind of see what services we're providing, what things we're collaborating with other campus organizations on, and how we're working to take care of all these great people at NC State.
Good. All right. So Instagram it is, and the website for us who want to know more and kind of support the efforts for not only the center but all of our students. So that is good to hear.
Absolutely.
Well, it has been so fun riding and kind of chatting with you and learning about your role and your work during the day for all of our students and faculty. It's definitely helped me understand that how is great and get my sleep and stress management.
Yep.
But it's been fun. And thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was nice to see you.